First of all, this wasn't an easy topic for me to write and talk about. I made several videos of me talking about myself and my personal experiences, mostly focusing on motivation and self-improvement. But this isn't a typical video for me. I made this because this is something that is affecting me and I'm trying to process it. Often my video, journaling, or vlogs help me process things. While I write, I'm able to process thoughts and emotions differently. So here it is. I can't say that I have depression. I mean like real clinical depression. Most people think depression is just feeling sad. But clinical depression is different. It is much more than just feeling sad. I personally don't have depression, but I do have a lot of people in my life that do have depression. Depression is a mental illness that affects many people, even famous people. One of the celebrities that actually affected me was Linkin Park's Chester Bennington. As a 90s kid, Linkin Park was a very big part of my teenage years. They had a big impact on many 90s kids. I remember when I heard the news of his passing, it was the first time I felt sad about a celebrity's passing. Not that any other celebrity's passing isn't sad, they're all sad. It's just this one hit me differently. It hit me a bit more. We all have our own favorite celebrities, and it seems that depression is affecting a lot more people than any of us realized. I also have quite a few coworkers who have depression. Through my coworkers, I was able to learn more about depression and how serious it is. Depression has many impacts on the person. Besides affecting just the person, it also affects the people around that person. For me personally, depression has been affecting me more and more. Even though I personally don't have this condition, it's the people around me who have this condition that's impacting me. This ties back to my video that I made about health and about how I resolved my life and family situation that was causing me a lot of time constraint. This is my wife who has depression, who possibly is also experiencing other mental conditions on top of her depression. Her mental illness is affecting me a lot. Mental illness is always very complicated. I believe she also experiences bipolar as she shows symptoms of manic highs and lows. People with mental illness need help from professionals, but due to having mental illness, they don't want help, even though they need the help. Through my family members and coworkers, I'm able to see and understand why we see in the movies that mental asylums back in the 50s and 60s drag people in, kicking and screaming. And we can't do that now anymore. This is also another layer to the complication. In a way, they need the help, and they do need to be dragged in to be treated. I mean, if it is a physical illness, maybe like a severe COVID symptoms where to the point where they can't breathe, we would be taking people in to a hospital to be treated by a doctor. I feel like mental illness is similar, but if they refuse, we can't do anything. All we can do is lead the mentally ill horse to water and tell them about seeking professional help. However, most of the time, the mentally ill horse will not drink the water and will often die of thirst. What I have learned about depression is that on top of feeling down, The person with depression also feels low energy often. And this starts a downward cycle of low energy causing low motivation. Nothing gets done around the house. Dishes often piles up. The person with depression ends up doom scrolling on their phone for over 10 hours a day. A full-time job is 8 to 9 hours of work a day. If your phone usage is over 10 hours a day, then something is really wrong. They often fixate their thoughts on everything that is wrong or not going well, while ignoring any positives or good things in life. This is the story of my wife. My goal isn't to put her in any bad lights, just because she is the person with severe clinical depression that I personally know, and I want to explain exactly how much depression affects not just the person with the illness, but all the people around that person. How her depression affects me. It's more like an education approach. For some reason, I'm learning, or at least the world is teaching me a lot about depression. She often complains about everything that is wrong in her life. Complains about the weather. It's too hot. It's too cold. She complains about her job, my job, her unfortunate life. Talks like she is the most unfortunate person in the world and everything bad only happens to her. Often it leaves the people like myself being impacted by depression without having depression, feeling lost and confused, unsure about how to deal with it or how to fix it. I know there are many different types of depression. Some people with depression takes antidepressant pills and they feel much better. Like my coworkers with depression they tell me that these medications are life-changing for them. Sometimes the medicine stops working, and when they see their dishes pile up in their sink, they know it's time to talk to their doctor about their medication. However, the medicine solution isn't as easy as it sounds. Some depressions, like the type my wife has, prevents them from seeking professional help. She refuses treatment. I believe it is due to her other illnesses. Possibly she might have narcissistic personality disorder. Something is causing her to not want treatment. I don't know what it is, but the result is her continue to spiral downwards. At the time of writing this, I have been with her for over 7 years. Her condition has gotten more severe. Oftentimes, she looks for things to make her feel depressed. I remember when we first met, she believed that if she got married and have kids and built a family, she would be happy. Her life would be fulfilled. And after we got married and have kids, she was still not happy and was still depressed. Even before our marriage and kids, she complained that her ex, before me, her ex cheated on her and she just wanted a partner who wouldn't cheat. And I was that partner for her, and I never cheat on any of my partners in the past. But she still wasn't happy. After marriage and kids, she was still not happy. Because she feels like she needs to have a house to be happy. And these wants and desire just kept on going. She never feels satisfied. And each stage of these desires starts a big fight between us. It ultimately led to her cheating on me and escalating the fights even more severely. The fights got so severe that she called the police to try and get me arrested. These things did eventually lead to our separation. Separation was something that I tried to prevent because we have 2 kids together. Once it happened, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The kids were actually fine with our arrangements. We sort of got lucky with our work schedule. She works night shifts, so I drop off the kids at her place on my way to work. Then on my way back home from work, I would pick up the kids from her and drive her to her workplace. She doesn't know how to drive, so I do my best to help her out. On my days off work, we would spend time together as a whole family. It isn't ideal, but we make it work and make the best out of a bad situation. This goes back to my other video where I talk about how I resolve my bad family life situation that is causing me a lot of time constraints. It was because living with my wife, who has depression, takes up a lot of my time. Because of her depression, she doesn't do anything. She spends all day on her phone. Her screen time is over 10 hours daily. She doesn't clean up the mess the kids make. And I work 2 jobs, and I get home from work, and the house is a huge mess. Food crumbs on the floor and ants everywhere because of the food crumbs. It's just chaos. So I have to clean up after a long day of work. As her illness gets worse, it eventually got to a point where I had to cook and feed the kids after work. She's just completely not functional to the point that it's becoming a disability. After separation, I got a lot more free time and feel a lot less stressed and more peaceful. Also a lot more time to focus on my self-improvement journey, making YouTube videos, learning how to write, edit, and communicate. Focus on training my Triforce with my new daily habits or routines of working on making videos, reading, and exercising. It's a literal weight off my shoulder feeling. However, I still have worries and concerns. She is still the mother of my 2 kids. I still want to help her. I'm feeling lost and hopeless because she still refuses to talk to a professional. And medication talk is just out of the question for her. I'm fine with her not taking medication, but at the very least, I just want her to talk to a counselor. But even that is a big no for her. It's just sad for me because all I can do is lead this mentally ill horse to water, but I can't force her to drink the water. But this is still the mother of my kids, and the kids still loves their mom, and it's just sad and depressing. It's just awful. Depression feels like a cancer. It spreads and it impacts everyone around the person, especially family members. I often talk about self-improvements and taking small steps to improve our own lives. But this is a situation where I don't know how to resolve. No small steps can be taken. She takes half a step forward, then falls back 3 more steps. I can't even talk to her about training her Triforce. As I have stated at the start of this video, it was hard to write about this. I can't really talk about my usual self-improvement motivation here because none of these habits or improvements works for a person with depression. I just want to explain how awful depression is. Sometimes you can't help everyone. Sometimes praying for the best is the only thing that you can do. Sometimes things are just out of your control. It just so happens that July is the Disability Pride Month. And I guess this is explaining how depression is a disability. I hope my experiences help you in resolving any difficult life challenges, especially people who might be in a similar situation like myself. I hope you will overcome whatever life challenges that you are dealing with.